Welcome to section 20.3. This is the 205th session of the CISSP exam prep series. In this session, we'll look past the database to the raw storage beneath it. We'll answer several questions. Why is database security not enough on its own? How do attackers reach storage without going through the front door? What extra danger does cloud storage introduce? And how can data leak through hidden storage channels? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because a database can enforce every access rule perfectly and still be undone by the disk it sits on. Imagine a research firm that locks its application tightly but stores backups on a loosely configured drive. An intruder who never touches the application can simply read the files directly. Securing the front door means little if the back door hangs open, so protecting storage itself is where real defense either holds or fails. Why is database security not enough on its own? Because a database management system only guards the traditional front door channels, the queries and interfaces users are supposed to go through. The data itself still lives in the computer's storage resources, both memory and physical media, and those can be reached in other ways. You would never spend heavily to bolt the front door of your home and then leave the back door wide open. The same logic applies here. The underlying storage needs protection every bit as much as the query interface does. How do attackers reach storage without going through the front door? The most basic threat is illegitimate access to storage resources, and it exists no matter what kind of storage you use. If administrators fail to set proper file system access controls, an intruder can stumble onto sensitive data just by browsing the file system. In more sensitive settings, you must also guard against attackers who bypass operating system controls entirely and read the physical media directly. The strongest answer is an encrypted file system reachable only through the primary operating system. And in a multi-level environment, shared memory and storage need controls so that data at one classification level cannot be read from a lower level. Think of it as a locked filing cabinet inside a locked room. Even someone who slips past the room's door still meets a second barrier. What extra danger does cloud storage introduce? Storage access control errors turn especially dangerous in the cloud, where a single misconfiguration can expose sensitive data to the entire public internet in an instant. A storage bucket meant to be private can be flipped open with one careless setting, and suddenly anyone can browse it. So organizations using cloud storage should set strong default settings that restrict public access from the start, then watch closely for any change that would open that access up. Think of it as a vault whose door can be swung wide by a single toggle. You keep it shut by default and alarm any hand that reaches for the switch. How can data leak through hidden storage channels? The second major threat is the covert channel attack. A covert storage channel smuggles sensitive data between classification levels by directly or indirectly manipulating shared storage media. In its simplest form, this means writing secret data to a portion of memory or storage that is inadvertently shared. More sophisticated versions signal information by manipulating something indirect, like the amount of free space left on a disk or the size of a file, turning ordinary storage behavior into a secret code between security levels. Think of it as two prisoners tapping messages through a shared wall. Nothing obvious is passed, yet information still crosses a boundary it should never cross. So let's bring it together. Database controls guard only the front door, while the real data rests in memory and physical media that need protection of their own. Illegitimate access is countered with file system controls and encrypted storage, and multi-level environments must isolate shared memory across classification levels. Cloud storage raises the stakes, since one misconfiguration can expose everything, so you lock it down by default and monitor for change. And covert storage channels can leak data by manipulating shared space, a subtle threat worth remembering. Master these, and you protect data all the way down to the disk. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.